Alright, hey guys, welcome back. Thanks very much for joining to the second part of this tutorial series. Now in the second part, we are going to start working on the MIDI clips that we are eventually going to be using to trigger the Roland TR8 and to record our drum sounds individually. We're going to go through the MIDI setup and we're going to go through how to send the MIDI messages from Ableton to the TR8. So let's get going. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the 24-bar section that we have extracted from the Production Music Live template. And I extended it to 24 bars because there were some parts that just did not fit into 16 bars. What you're looking at here are all the individual MIDI clips that will eventually be used to trigger the individual drum sounds of the Roland TR8. Now, first and foremost, let's go through the MIDI setup of the Roland TR8. Once you've connected it via USB and you've installed the necessary drivers, the Roland TR8 is going to show up in your Preferences tab under TR8 or TR8 Control. We're going to be using the TR8 section to send incoming and outgoing MIDI messages. Now, the Roland TR8 is a full MIDI controller, so it's capable of sending MIDI messages which you can use to control Ableton. And that's going to come very useful when we are going to record one of the drum sections with an Ableton effect already added, and we are going to be recording the actual automation that's going to be used to control that one effect. And guess what? We're going to be using the TR8 to record that automation live. So you want to have in the MIDI input sections for the TR8, you want to have track as well as remote enabled. Now the output MIDI section, we want to have track enabled for the TR8. Do not enable sync, because once you enable sync, what that's going to do, it's going to send clock information and the Roland TR8's internal sequencer is going to take over. We don't want that, because what we are going to do is we are going to send triggers via Ableton MIDI notes to trigger the individual instruments of the Roland TR8. So those two cannot work together, because you're going to have overlapping MIDI messages, you're going to have the Roland's internal sequencer doing its own thing, whatever you had last programmed into the TR8, and you're also going to have MIDI messages coming from Ableton and they're going to conflict with each other and you're just going to have a big cluster of nonsense. We don't want that. Okay, the next thing you're going to have to do is, once you've separated the drum elements that you're going to use in your production, in our case it's a kick, an offbeat hi-hat, a 16th note pattern, closed hi-hat, the snare, the hand claps, we're going to use the clave. So to send the MIDI messages from Ableton to the TR8, first you have to choose TR8 in the outgoing MIDI section, and you're going to have to choose channel number 10, which is the default channel that the Roland TR8 is set to receive MIDI messages. Of course, you can change this channel and you would use the corresponding channel for that. But in our case, we are going to stick with the default and use channel number 10.